Have you ever wondered how a single individual could redefine the landscape of classical music? Enter Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a prodigy whose fingers first danced across the keys of a piano when he was just 5 years old. From that tender age, Mozart composed over 800 works that would echo through the centuries, each one a testament to his genius and creativity. Born in the winter of 1756 in the city of Salzburg, Austria, Mozart was immersed in the world of music from his earliest days. His father, Leopold Mozart, was a respected composer in his own right, and he wasted no time in sharing his craft with his son. It was under Leopold's watchful eye that young Mozart composed his first piece at the age of 5, showing a talent that would only grow with time. Mozart's early life set the stage for a career that would forever change the course of music history. Imagine a world where the symphony as we know it did not exist. Now let's journey back to the mid-18th century, to the teenage years of a young Austrian prodigy, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. His family's extensive tours across Europe exposed him to a myriad of musical styles, acting as a canvas for his blossoming artistry. During these formative years, Mozart absorbed the influences of Italian opera, German orchestral music, and the intricate French style. But his genius was not just in imitation but in transformation. He took these diverse influences and wove them into a unique musical language that was all his own. In his late teens, Mozart made a significant move to Vienna, which marked a prolific period in his life. It was here that he composed many of his symphonies, sonatas, and operas, each piece showcasing his evolving musical style. Works like The Marriage of Figaro and Don Giovanni were not just pieces of music, they were experiences, journeys into human emotion and complexity. But Mozart's true revolution lay in his transformation of the classical symphony. Before Mozart, symphonies were often simple and light. But Mozart saw potential for more. He expanded the symphony, making it more complex, more expressive. His symphonies were not just a sequence of pleasant sounds, they were narratives, they were conversations. They were explorations of the human spirit. Mozart's works were marked by their emotional depth, their complexity, and their expressiveness. His music could make you laugh, cry, and think, all in the span of a few bars. And it was this emotional richness, this depth of expression that set Mozart apart. Today, centuries after his death, Mozart's music continues to enchant us, to move us. His symphonies, his operas, his sonatas, they all speak to us across the boundaries of time and space. They remind us of the power of music, the power of creativity, the power of human emotion. Mozart's influence on classical music is undeniable. His compositions continue to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. His musical evolution was not just a personal journey but a transformation of the symphony, a revolution in the world of music. What if Mozart's music had never existed? Would classical music as we know it be the same? Let's delve into the lasting impact of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's work, a legacy that reverberates throughout the ages. Mozart's life was a symphony cut short, with his untimely death at the age of 35. Yet in that limited span he composed over 600 works, a prodigious output that continues to astonish us. His music, characterized by its emotional depth, technical finesse, and thematic sophistication, set new standards for the classical genre. The echoes of Mozart's influence can be heard in the compositions of those who followed him. Beethoven, who was just a teenager when Mozart passed away, was deeply inspired by Mozart's work. He even took some of his early compositions to Mozart for critique. The seeds of Beethoven's revolutionary style can be traced back to Mozart's innovations. Mozart's music was not just influential, it was transformative. His compositions brought about a paradigm shift, pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible in music. They embodied a perfect blend of the complex and the accessible, the intellectual and the emotional, the profound and the playful. This balance is what makes Mozart's music enduringly popular and universally appealing. Yet Mozart's genius was not immediately recognized. After his death, his music fell into relative obscurity, only to be rediscovered and appreciated years later. This rediscovery led to a Mozart revival, a renaissance that saw his music being performed more frequently and studied more intensively. His works became the cornerstone of classical music education, shaping the minds and skills of countless musicians. Today, over 2 centuries later, Mozart's music continues to be performed, studied, and revered. His symphonies, sonatas, and operas are staples of the classical repertoire, testament to his enduring influence. Scholars continue to analyze his compositions, peeling back the layers of his genius, while musicians strive to capture the sublime beauty of his melodies. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a name synonymous with classical music, a composer whose influence echoes through the ages and a legacy that continues to inspire.